The Italian men will always say, "Hi, beautiful, ciao, bella," and it's just their culture, like to not be creeped out by that or weirded out by that. It's just completely normal for Italians to compliment you and to call you beautiful. I was most shocked by how many dogs there were in Venice, and in Florence there's a lot of cats, but Rome is definitely a city of cats. It's incredible. You'll be walking somewhere and then you come across this gated area and you look down and there's ruins, and it's a cat park. Like, it's a cat haven, and there'll be signs saying there will be punishment for someone harming a cat. But just walking along the streets, you'll find scooters and cars parked with cans and bowls, specifically from people who live there, leaving food out for the stray cats. Cats are very loved. Their customer service is horrible. Like, if you went to the store and you're checking out and they get a phone call from their friend, they'll take the phone call over checking you out. Like, Americans are all about efficiency and getting the customer out, but Italians are very personable and relaxed, and so that is one big difference. They sleep in, then they go to work, and then they have a lunch break. That all the stores close in Rome, or in Italy, all the stores close around 1 till at least 3 or maybe 4. 1 to 4 in Sicily, maybe 1 to 3 in Rome. And the city is empty. Everyone goes home, eats a big plate of pasta, and goes to take a nap. Pasta is a big thing. Pizza is a big thing. Their staple is pasta. Every lunch, you can count on there being pasta. Every dinner, you can count on there being pasta. The thing in Italy that is different is that Italians don't mix their food. Americans, we put different kinds of food on one plate and we just pick and choose and eat. Italians think that's disgusting. They will eat salad and an appetizer and then pasta and then meat and then dessert, but nothing together. The salty snacks and the candy that Americans are used to probably you're not going to find in Italy. They have their own kind that's really good, but peanut butter, like Butterfinger, doesn't exist. Reese's Pieces doesn't exist. Nerds or Runs, like things that we find normal, Wheat Thins or Lay's. Italians have their own kind of chips. Italians have their own kind of candy.
They use their hands a lot. People say that they have, like, that Italians can't speak if their hands were tied behind their back, but which I could say is a bit true. But yeah, they're just very fun and adamant in their facial expressions, and they just say it like it is. If they think you're gaining weight, they'll tell you. They're very open, which is actually really helpful.
I've never met more mama's boys in my life as I have in Italy, which is a fantastic thing. Like, the Italian men just like love their mothers to death, you know? And I think it's more the Italian mothers love their kids to death too, because if it was their choice, they'd have their kids live with them until they were 40. But there's just such a great focus on the family. I mean, no matter where you are, Sunday after church, you go eat lunch with your family. That's what it is. They put so much effort into food that if they try to feed you, even if you're just full to your brim, there's been times where like I've thought I would just explode because I've eaten so much. But I think the stomach's like bigger than we imagine it is because we can fit more in. I mean, they put so much effort in that food, and like you gotta eat it, you know? They're like offended if you don't. I feel like all old wives' tales have their origin in Italian wives. They have this fear of moving air. It's called colpa d'aria. And so like air conditionings or fans, they just don't believe in. Like, it'll be 120 degrees outside and you'll be in church, and if you turn the air conditioning on, like, be prepared to be chastised, because those members don't like the air conditioning on, because they feel like it's going to make them sick. They literally feel like it'll make them throw up.
Every morning you'll see either the old ladies go out, which you'll be surprised because most of the old ladies ride bicycles. So you see like this 90-year-old lady riding a bicycle, and you're like, wow, if there's anyone older than like 50 years old, you have no power into saying what they can do or what they can't do. They will give you a kiss if they want you, or they will stop and talk, or they won't talk. They're so set in their ways, and they just have everything nailed down that that's just the way they are. But it's wonderful. They're so great. They will tell you so much in so little time because they just love to talk and just tell you so many things. They're going to be a little touchy. They like touching your arm. Grandmothers or older ladies coming up and kissing you on the cheek all the time. And you also have to be careful with candy because a lot of the candy is made with alcohol. So you have to make sure you read the wrapper or just wait until your throat starts stinging, one of those two. You cannot expect to get something to eat from a store after like 7 or 8 in the evening. Actually 6 or 7. Everything starts closing down except for late night pizzerias or where people are getting drunk and stuff like that. Grocery stores do not stay open 24/7. If you need to get something, make sure you get it before you go back into your apartment because then it's closed. They don't open until the next morning. They don't like working overnight. Those 3 things they go out and buy every morning: fresh bread, fresh cheese, and fresh meat. And any house that you'll go eat, you'll have all those 3 freshly bought that morning. Because they don't believe in like really refreezing all that kind of stuff. Like they eat their meal that they bought that day and they eat the next meal. Like it's just day by day they eat their stuff. You will find in Italy that there is a vast amount of older people than there is youth and young families.
They're extremely passionate culture. And because of that, sometimes those passions can get carried away. I saw a number of fights on the street. I don't know if I've ever just been walking down the street in an American city and seen 2 people just slugging it out. But I saw that several times in Italy. The mafia were thick enough in Castellammare that you weren't ever supposed to wear anything that obscured your face. If you wore a ski mask, a helmet with a mirrored visor, a full helmet with just the visor right here, you're a hitman. And people know that. If you ever see someone riding around on a Ducati motorcycle and they have a mirrored visor, go the opposite direction of wherever they're going. We had that on a number of occasions where we'd see someone just ripping by with a mirrored visor, and pretty soon we'd hear gunshots. I saw these 2 Italians screaming at each other, just in each other's faces, and their hands flailing, and their faces really animated and really heated, and I was like, oh my gosh, I think they're going to kill each other. And I leaned over to the APs, and I'm like, shouldn't we do anything? And he's like, no. And I'm like, what are they fighting about? We should do something. And he's like, no, he's telling him a joke. That's just the way that they talk, and it's true. When they get excited, they get louder and seem more, they're just very passionate people. So the way they express everything is 120%. And you kind of have to get used to that. It's just how they talk. And I came home and my parents say that when my brother and sister and I speak Italian to each other, that we get louder and animated, and they're always going, shh, we're inside the house. You're 2 feet away from each other. Shh.